Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode number 19 of the Subscription Podcast. I am Paul Chambers, and I'm so excited, thrilled to be joined here today by our not intern French counterpart, Swiss Army knife of a marketing genius from the SubSummit team, Mr. Louis Pierre Marie Ricard.
You started with a French accent and it turned into an Italian one.
It did.
I don't even know how to. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Thank you very much for this introduction.
Listen, Louis, I'm really excited to have you here because Chris George couldn't make it today. He's a very busy guy. And we have a lot of fun things to talk about. But what I love is you are always the one that's dropping the news in the subscription news channel for us. We have an internal Slack channel called Subscription News. Anybody on the team, when they see it, they drop stuff in. So today we're going to be talking about some of those points. You dropped a great thing in this morning. What's amazing is last night I had a stream of consciousness. I started slacking you. And then this morning you dropped me an article that you happened to come across about like people's willingness to keep, what do they call it? Like the auto renewal feature. Mm-hmm. So we're going to talk about that a little bit and how my stream of consciousness is connected to it. I came up with the world's most amazing loyalty program for Olive Garden, and we're going to pitch it to them live on the podcast today. We're not actually calling them. We're just going to like do it all and tell them.
I like that you say we because I haven't gotten prepped at all. So
we're going to talk about Moise Ali throughout Amazon Needs a Prime VIP. I want to talk about that a little bit. Shopify rolled out some new things in the latest editions, integrating subscription into it. And then Ford is out there being naughty.
Oh, I thought you were going to go with Ford. Go further. And that was like sponsored. But
Ford is stealing executives from Apple to develop out their subscription services program.
They're investing in it.
And if we get time, we're going to talk about NFL's new Red Zone subscription. But we'll make sure we save time for Name That Subscription Game. We're going to be playing, and you are going to be playing for Chris George's points today. Now, fun disclaimer, before we get into this, he is collecting points along the way. When he gets to 100 points, he's going to be getting a prize. You will not be getting any part of that prize, but you are collecting points for him today.
Feels unfair.
All right. It's definitely not unfair. So you came across this report out there. This was a Stanford report about the subscription economy boon for companies, but it's about federal regulators coming in and talking about like the need for being able to cancel auto renewals a little bit easier. But you pointed out something about this report that was interesting, right?
Yeah. So I'm a little ticked off with reports lately because, you know, we always see in the news, brand new study, brand new things. And we operate in a space, Paul, that I don't think brand new can work with 3-year-old data or 2-year-old data. We're in a space where every 6 months or even every quarter, something you need to keep track. So this study, that's brand new study, is using data from 2017 all the way to 2022 without any data from 2023. And they found that people forgetting about their subscription, so paying without knowing, is responsible for 200 boost in sales for those subscription services.
Wait, 200% boost? What are you talking about?
Yeah,
200% higher boost.
Yeah.
They found business revenues are from 14% to 200% higher than they would if consumers were more proactive about managing their unwanted accounts.
Yeah. So if people were conscious about, okay, my subscription for Olive Garden, which we'll pitch later, is coming up. I don't need it anymore. I'm going to cancel it. A lot of people forget. True? I think that used to be true.
Okay. What changed?
I think now people are so much more budget conscious. We saw it in the annual report we published, right? Everyone is so much more budgetary conscious. What can I do to save as many pennies as I can to afford that vacation I can't take anymore, right? Like budgets are, reducing. How do we make it work with the family that we have, right?
And people like things like subscribe and save because they get the replenishables on a schedule and they're saving money.
Yep.
Also known as auto ship. I actually tweeted this last night. Subscribe and save is scary because the word subscription is scary. But auto ship doesn't say enough. It doesn't say that you're saving money by getting the auto ship. And this was my stream of consciousness that I sent to you because that's the challenge out there with it is, people forget or they get too much and then they get frustrated. And they don't. I feel like, and I've said this before in other places, when the package arrives, there should be a set of QR codes on there that you can scan. And it says like, was this too early or too late? And then it'll allow you to like say how too early, too late you think, 1 week, 2 weeks, whatever. And then it'll automatically adjust for you. It reduces so much friction. Or I was talking with my brother about this late last night too. And he's like, or your other idea of like text you and say like, hey, your stuff's about to ship. Are you ready for it? Yes or no? And then we're so smart today. We have such great like development teams out there and programming, the ability to do things. Why can we not make it so it eventually figures out the frequency and is perfect?
I think it's because we as consumers are so volatile. Things
No,
change.
baloney.
I think so. I think
You think you use toilet paper in a different frequency every week?
I'm not saying for everything. I'm saying for certain products it would for sure work.
Right.
Okay. Don't look at Alex.
Alex looked at me.
Alex, stop nodding.
Like the amount of razors
yes.
you use. There are things in life
Okay,
that have
no,
a
so
set
razor.
frequency.
Razor's a great example. So you decide to be
Or
clean.
dog food.
No, let's stick with razor. You decide to be clean shaven for 6 months. And then one day, because you're a millennial, you think a mustache is cool. Okay.
Mustache is
oh,
cool.
wow. I don't need.
It's not going to change my ways. Okay, but what I'm saying then, the point is it should adjust my frequency.
Yes.
Now I've got them stockpiling. I
Yes.
scan the QR code on there, or like their text messages should be like just in the beginning to figure it out. And then over time, but like dog food, my dog's eating the same scoop of food every single day,
Yes.
2 times a day.
And
right?
that's why I love your QR code. I think it's like, how do we get that real time data?
Why is this not happening right now?
People don't want to invest in this. People think, oh, I'll rely on third party data that I don't have. Where this is the beauty about subscriptions. You can get 0-party data as often as you can get, right? By rewarding consumers who take your survey, by giving them extra perks, by how do we get the most out of our consumers to make sure they understand, hey, this is for your benefit. We gain nothing out of it outside of changing a few operation or logistics thing, right? So this is about how you message that, hey, this survey is not an annoying survey. It's not to tell us how awesome we are. This is about you.
Yeah.
How you doing? Is this okay? Was this too late? How do we make it better next time, next month, next quarter, whatever?
Yeah, I think you're spot on with that, and that's where. So Shopify released their latest editions this summer here a couple weeks ago, 2 weeks ago now, and they built subscription into it. And what was interesting is I saw a tweet out there, somebody talking about, hey, how is subscriptions in there now, and what's it going to change for the landscape of all these other companies that are layering the apps that are in there. And Toby, the CEO of, is Toby president? Harley's president, Toby's CEO. So Toby said, this is the base. This is like the core of what you need for subscriptions. While it's pretty good, there's so much more to be expanded upon in that. And that's where I think these apps like Order Groove and Recharge and Bold come in and offer these types of things, right? Yeah. Like, how do you make it better in there and do those types of things?
And I think that's the ultimate tricky thing, right? You were saying you should be able to do this for most products, but like I said, like this all depends on what you're offering. So how do you maximize the value of your offering while understanding your customer base? If you have, let's say, hundreds of thousands of people, right? It gets very tricky to manage all of that intel, because some people might say this worked great. Some people might say it's late. So how do you manage all those logistical nightmares that can potentially arise from the surveys? So that's the other layer.
And there's more physical products, right? This isn't this isn't every single product that's out there. Streaming products, for example, they're going to be in. You're not going to like, hey, your streaming is going to renew.
This could be interesting, though. What if you had a QR code for like, hey, we dropped X movies this month. How many of them did you watch? Or, hey, today we released this new show. When do you plan on watching it?
Well, they already know that by like the frequency of the algorithm and things like that.
You would hope so, but what if you had more intel of like, hey, guys, like we know Netflix and Disney are investing like crazy on original content. Right. So is Max, right? So could that help them potentially get, a better intel of like, hey, we released 13 movies. 98% of our customers said they only watched 3. Yeah. We don't need to produce as much. Let's spread it out.
So how about this then? So NFL is adding in just a red zone subscription.
Super interesting.
Right?
Oh my gosh.
I'm not a football guy, but like I feel like this is a good thing.
This is insane.
Well, tell me about it. Tell me you're like.
So for some context on NFL Red Zone, it's pretty much like a 7 to 8 hour highlight reel on football. So NFL Red Zone, it's been here forever, and there's one host who's an absolute all-star, Scott Henderson, I believe his name is. Okay. And what they do is they take you across every single NFL stadium in America at the same exact time when a big play is about to happen or when a touchdown.
When you're in the quote unquote red zone,
yes.
Right?
So
Bradley, you're a football guy too, right? Like you watch the sports thing.
Oh, sure I am. Yeah,
So
I might do this. I might subscribe to this.
Interesting.
It's insane. Like that, just that addition alone is gonna drive so many people to that subscription. So I think it's fascinating what they're doing. I was really reading the press release, and they're making a conscious effort on the DTC side because they understand the value of
Red Zone
connecting fans.
in the past, it was only through like one of the networks.
Yes.
Like I remember my buddy who loved Red Zone.
Yes.
He subscribed to Comcast to get it.
Yep.
So you could only watch it there. Is that right? How it was in the past?
It used to be through cable, yeah.
Yeah. And so now you can go direct to consumer on it.
You can go on your phone. You can go on your iPad.
Yeah,
you can go,
that's genius. I'm surprised it took this long, honestly.
Right?
Yeah.
Why? Why did it take this long?
I think the NFL's been dealing with fairly like a decent amount of storylines, right?
Yeah.
And so that they had to take care of, and now they're like very much like working to, in my opinion, compete with the best league in the world, which is the NBA. The NBA's got it figured out as far as engaging with fans. The NFL has a harder time because it's not as global of a sport.
But there's no like NBA Red Zone. Like
It might be soon.
could they do that? Like when the game's at the end
fans
of the
keep
game.
asking about it.
Is it
because,
sports for people with ADHD? Is that how that works? Like
honestly, I'm sure that's a big
like
that's
I'd
a
be in
big
the red zone.
demographic. But if you think about it, the model is great because you're engaging fans and giving them 10 times more content than they could consume while giving them so like if I'm a fan of the Detroit Lions, nothing stops me from watching the game, but I can have Red Zone on my tablet and be like, "Whoa, this is happening. Well, what does this mean for this playoff run that we're?"
Well, what were you saying about NBA? I'm sorry, I cut you off there. Like, what's NBA doing better, or what have they been doing better?
The NBA, what they've done better is engaging fans internationally, globally. Like the NBA presence in China and in other continents, in Africa, is absolutely insane. The NFL is barely getting into Europe right now. And when you look at that, one, it's because the NFL is much more of an American sport.
People are confused because they call it football.
First of all, that's honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if like just them, like us calling it soccer, it's got to be a whole mess. But the NBA is doing it right by investing in like, hey, we know a lot of people loved Kobe Bryant, love Michael Jordan. So let's build camps where they can practice and they can play. And now you have these fans for life and we can, let's get them content too. How do we get them to watch games? They will watch it despite the time zone differences. And now the NFL, there's coverage in France, for example, like the Super Bowl, people stay up for it. And the interest is growing.
So when you were in France until you were how old? You lived
17.
in France. 17. Okay. Yeah. So what American sports did you watch? And when you did, how did you connect with them?
The NBA. And it was on an illegal stream, so I will not say the name of that site.
But it was the streaming provider today.
It was the NBA mainly because I was always a big basketball guy. But then I got into football, and that was way harder to find.
Really? Would you go on like Twitter and it'd be on Periscope or something like that?
I don't even remember. Those sites were very not good. I probably should have thrown my computer away when I was done. But it was it allowed me to watch them for free. But it was like at 2 a.m. I would stay up, or 3 a.m. I'd wake up, depending on. It was kind of the random times.
So now, because of these apps, the direct-to-consumer approach with them it's really opening up that market so much more.
Yep. And the NBA, this is older storyline. They're starting to play with augmented and virtual reality.
Oh, they're doing cool stuff. I love what they announced.
They released where like you can be in the game. It's like it's fun ways of like to engage fans even more. Yeah. Now, obviously, it's still a prototype. Like, how do you monetize it? All that stuff. But
oh my gosh, I would slam dunk on LeBron all day.
In my opinion, if you want to figure things out about how people behave, if you observe the sports leagues, you know exactly where to go. Like the fact that the NFL, the NBA, now baseball, they're all investing in the direct-to-consumer approach. That should tell you that everyone needs to work on that because they're understanding, hey, this is not just like, here you go, figure it out. This is hey, how do we get you to engage with our product?
And listening to their customer. Like baseball this year with the pitch clock has dramatically changed the game. Attendance is up. People are enjoying the games that much more. Like I took my kids down this year and I wasn't dreading it. Like because I knew 2 hours and 15 minutes we'd likely be out of there. Everybody's like, yeah, it's so much faster. It's nice you're home earlier. And so they're listening to their consumers or looking at the data and making better decisions. I mean, I think that's got to be a result of more direct-to-consumer engagement than ever before.
For sure.
I mean, they're selling tickets to consumers and stuff like that, but like what they're seeing out there and what they're able to do, I bet, is dramatically changing all this.
I think the one potential downfall is attending games. And that might be the next barrier they have to kind of figure out is like, okay, now that
but you put on your Vision Pro and then somebody else is sitting at the game wearing their Vision Pros. Potentially. And you can just watch from their vantage point. Do you think that's going to be controversial? Do you think that's going to be a problem? Like, are people not going to be allowed to wear their Apple Vision Pros to the game because then they can just basically stream?
It all depends. Let me say it this way. I wouldn't be like when the COVID pandemic happened, the NBA went into this bubble, right? Yeah. and there was no one allowed in the stands.
Mm-hmm.
The viewership went super high.
Yeah.
Everyone was still watching. There was still money. There was not money made from fans, sitting in the seats. So if the NBA or those leagues find a way of not losing money by fans attending,
I figured it out. So here's the way it's going to work.
Okay,
As a ticket holder, you are entitled to stream from your seat, but it has to go through their app, and they are able to collect a percentage of revenue off of your streaming that's from your seat. Okay. You get a cut of it. So it's like a Twitter split, 60-40 or whatever it is. And so you can wear your Apple Vision Pro, and I can subscribe to you and watch from your vantage point, and we share in that revenue now.
Share.
Yeah,
it's not a bad idea.
We'll see. Maybe they'll do it. Maybe they won't. You just look like the weirdo sitting in the stands with your Apple Vision Pro glasses on.
I think there's going to be definitely a period of time, 2 to 3 years, like what the hell is happening, guys? But I think there is a gigantic opportunity. But then you also lose that aspect of sport, right? That brings people together. Now you're more alone than ever. So I think people won't want to lose that for quite a while.
You make your kid wear the glasses then, so you can be present.
So deprive the kid from his first
I mean,
experience.
they don't even know. They're just there.
Yeah.
They're not paying attention. They're watching the popcorn guys around the stand.
You have kids, I don't. So I'm going to take your word on that.
I took Parker to a Ravens game last weekend, and at some point, he's really good about it. Like he's almost 10 now, and so he's starting to pay more attention to the actual game. I'm like, we in his preseason, so we were able to sit third row and had lots of fun together. But at some point, I'm like, hey, buddy, the game's right here, and he's watching the big screen for the game, and I'm like, dude, it's like happening in front of us, So it's been funny to see, that. But so speaking of progress and where the world is going, automotive is really starting to make some headway on this. Finally. But I read a report as I jumped off of like your news that you shared of Ford stealing the Apple executive, that the report suggested that the automotive subscription market is meant to be.
Sent that one to you too.
You put it in there, I know. $21 billion by 2028. However, then I went digging deeper. This is the whole stupid report thing.
Yes.
First of all, the report didn't say like, is it subscribing to a car or subscription services in there? So then I went a little bit deeper. I found a McKinsey report that suggested it'll be a $750 billion market by 2030. And, this it's saying it's like 4.1 billion currently. I mean, overall, like the opportunity is tremendous with this, where, General Motors is going with their OnStar and Tesla's with their self-driving subscription, Super Cruise subscription over at GM. So like, I think, Ford going after this Apple executive to invest in their subscriptions, like brilliant move.
It's super interesting that they did it. And one, we know how Apple is so conscious about its customers, right? They didn't build just a brand. They built like an icon for all these customers, you and I included. But Ford also is kind of like ahead in the race of subscription in a weird way, because they just got not too long ago, they got accepted to be the only subscription vehicle in the UK.
Wow.
Tesla did not apply for it, and I don't know.
What's that mean?
So there was a story. I need to do some digging on it. It's in our annual report too. We did part of the case study, but the Ford Blue was the only software allowed on UK road.
Oh, that's interesting.
And that's like a whole, that's a whole demographic that Tesla and GM, I don't know how they're tapping into it, but very differently than Ford. So I'm wondering if them doing that, investing in overseas, and hiring this incredible man that Peter Stern is, how that's going to all shape out. But Ford is definitely not a little player in this subscription game, which is super interesting.
Yeah, not by any means. And, they've really been investing in their tech infrastructure and everything that they're doing there. And so, hopefully Peter Stern's going to come and hang out with us in the studio one day if he's going to move to Detroit to be at Ford.
Where do you see it going? This subscription, like, is there any limit to it? Like, what's the deal? Because we know it's been a long time coming. But where do you see the space?
Look at you turning the interview on me.
For sure.
Look at you.
You have the better
questions.
thoughts on this. I'm not the expert. You have a Tesla. You figure it out.
Yeah, look, I think there's tons of opportunity with self-driving. Tesla's about to launch V12, that's when it comes out of beta, and so that's going to be interesting to see what happens there. Opening it to the masses, doing more with that. How many are going to subscribe to it for $200 a month? Huge potential in what Tesla's doing there. It's such a fragmented market. There's so much confusion. Some of the biggest companies in the world still have no idea what they're doing. You hear reports of Stellantis that is stripping pieces of software away, taking away like traffic view and make it so you have to subscribe to it. Totally wrong approach, wrong way to look at it. And so I think they're just like trying to figure it out right now. Volvo has been super successful with their car subscription. Could Hertz move into that space with the way rentals are treated and stuff like that? So I think it's still very much the Wild West a little bit. And my advice and encouragement to the automotive segment is listen to what the consumers want and help develop stuff for that space. And I think, looking at companies like what Apple has done, that's exactly what they did. Okay, we know our consumers want storage, they want music, they want these premium services, and they're willing to pay for them. The services segment at Apple is massive, a multi-billion-dollar business. And it didn't just happen overnight, and it didn't just happen because they kept like jamming stuff down the consumer's throat to see what sticks. They were thoughtful about it and came to the conclusion. So that's where I think like it's going to take time. It's going to take half a decade before we get to like something meaningful progress in that space. But I think we'll get there.
I think it's fascinating that there's no true leader in the space.
No.
And that's one of the only industry I can think of when there's not like a distinguished subscription leader. I think streaming is a little tricky too because there's so many streamers, right? Like Spotify could arguably be that, but they're all doing
talked about a lot.
Yeah, no.
But like, Tesla has 3 different subscription products. They have
self-driving thing,
self-driving, connectivity. So like the different connectivity within the car and different packages that come alongside that.
Is that through your app too?
Yeah. So like get like the connectivity service. Mine comes with my car, so I don't know everything it includes, but I know it's a subscription. And then the charging subscription. You can pay a monthly membership fee and you'll get reduced rates on your charging at superchargers.
Oh.
And so, there's a whole, so now what Tesla has the opportunity to do is create a Tesla One, like Apple created Apple One, where it's everything, it's all that bundled into one package and you get a discount on it and things like that. And then they can start to partner with, the eateries around there and different stuff like that. So it'll be interesting to see where this evolves to.
It's super interesting. And I love that you said, research says one is worth, 21 billion. The other said 758.
Who knows?
That's what we just figured out with the subscription economy.
Yeah.
Right. We initially in our annual report said, hey, the research clearly says 200 billion by 2023. And then our marketing team, our awesome research team, they went in and they said, hey guys, we're looking at more like $2 trillion.
$2 trillion. Currently today.
By 2027. No. Today.
Yeah, it's now. We're sitting in a $2 trillion subscription economy. And that's what's amazing is it's so, underrated sometimes and really not looked at the value of how much it is because, this economy in itself and this industry, the space is so valuable. The relationships that are formed on that $2 trillion that's spent there. So, let's go, baby. Let's go. We're going to be talking about a SubSummit.
Absolutely.
2024, Dallas, Texas, June 17th to the 19th. Before we get into our fun game of Name That Subscription, I want to talk about something that's living rent-free in my brain, and that is Olive Garden's missed opportunity. I'm telling you, why Olive Garden doesn't have a loyalty program.
Why Olive Garden is still in business is my biggest. Yeah,
Stop it. Get out. Get out. Leave the podcast.
I would love to know.
Unlimited soup, salad, and breadsticks. The pasta's amazing. You can have wine there. You're with family.
How often do you go to Olive Garden?
Not often enough because there's not one close enough.
That's all I have to say.
One.
There's one not too far away from here.
I'm telling you, if there was one walkable here, every single day I would be there for lunch.
Bull.
I'm telling you, like, I love the breadsticks. It's just the fact that there's not one in Troy, and I don't like missing fire runs. If my fire pager goes off, I want to be able to go.
So you prioritize the safety of our residents instead of
1,000%.
That's
I prioritize being able to drive a fire truck and everything else over.
Let's go with the safety of residents. Okay, so Olive Garden missed opportunity.
Speaking of, this podcast today brought to you by the Troy Volunteer Fire Department. Apply today. Listen, Olive Garden has a huge missed opportunity in not having a loyalty program, and because right now, I think they're just giving away. No, they don't. They have a rewards program. So of course, I'm like, oh, what does ChatGPT think about this? And I said, Olive Garden is ripe to develop a strong loyalty program that could eventually lead to a very nice and profitable membership model for them. You see where I'm going here?
I do.
How would you recommend this program look like? What would the benefits be? Would it be free or paid? And so then ChatGPT came back. It's like, sure, loyalty programs can definitely help in building a strong relationship with customers and be very profitable for restaurants. Here's some suggestions for Olive Garden's loyalty program structure, covering both free loyalty program and a paid membership model.
Ooh.
So what it did is it gave me the first one, which is called, the free loyalty program is called Olive Garden Family. This
Classic.
ChatGPT is so smart. I'm telling you, like, it's like, what a great name, Olive Garden Family, because that's what they lean into when
Simple.
you hear your family.
Simple.
It would have a point system. Customers can earn points for every dollar spent. Birthday and anniversary specials. Members get a free dessert on their birthday or anniversary. These gestures increase personal connection with the brand. Early access. Members get early access to new menu items or special promo offers. Right? People like exclusivity. They like that sense. Only if you're in the Olive Garden family. Referral bonuses. Refer friends. That one's a little iffy. And then a mobile app. A mobile app dedicated to where members can track their points, get personalized offers, order online, and make reservations.
Listen, mate. Restaurant apps, if you do not know and look at what McDonald's is doing for their mobile app, you will never succeed in the restaurant industry. Yeah. They have it on lock, and whoever has a franchise like Olive Garden, literally just copy and paste.
They're going to love this
Whatever
app.
they got going.
They're going to listen, Olive Garden. Just
do it.
Just listen
That's
to
Nike.
me.
But just figure it out.
You have to be doing this. And so now the paid membership program that ChatGPT helped me with is called Olive Garden Primo.
It's
so good. This software is so good. It just knows me so well. With Olive Garden Primo, their paid membership program, you get unlimited soup, salad, and breadsticks. My proposal on this is with Olive Garden Family, the free membership loyalty program that they have now, you get unlimited breadsticks and the first round of soup and salad, because you can't go in, because right now they have unlimited soup, salad, and breadsticks. You can't go in and like take that away from people immediately. What we've learned with consumer behavior is you have to like slowly move things in the other direction. So you introduce, and it's super simple, right? It's free. You still get the free breadsticks, and you still like, look at, if you want a little extra salad, I'll slip you some extra salad. Like you do that in the beginning, but then you get people to join the Primo program. You get unlimited soup, salad, and breadsticks as part of that. But you also get priority seating on busy nights. Members
That's big.
Get priority seating or the ability to skip the wait list. This is bigger than big. This is huge, Louis. I'm telling you. Okay. Also exclusive events. You can host wine tasting nights there. You're going to be invited to cooking classes.
Alex, can you look up how many people go
members.
to Olive Garden?
Yeah, get us some stats on it. No,
I'd love to know how
Bradley
many
over there with the
customers. Or
microphone
Brad,
can
I'm
also tell us. Slack Bradley so he can chime in. You also, new to Olive Garden Primo membership, free delivery. You get free delivery of Olive Garden. You can order the carryout and get it free delivered to your house. And they can coordinate that through DoorDash. I'm telling you, like, it's super easy to implement.
Yep.
Monthly specials and continuous discounts. So then,
it's not over yet.
I realized Cooper's Hawk over here, a growing chain of restaurants, has a wine membership program. You join Cooper's Hawk, and they have hundreds of thousands of members in their wine program. And most Cooper's Hawk restaurants, when they open via their memberships, are already profitable on just their memberships alone that they bring in. So I said, first of all, I told it to make it a long form tweet for me that I never use. I go, could Olive Garden work a wine club into this as well, similar to Cooper's Hawk? And ChatGPT said, absolutely. Incorporating a wine club in Olive Garden's membership program could be a great way to add value for customers while also promoting Olive Garden's extensive wine lists. This could potentially be a separate tier of the Primo membership or an optional add-on. And here's how it could work.
Is that how you read your ChatGPT?
That's how my ChatGPT talks to me.
And
this one's called Olive Garden Primo Vino. Right?
Just put but thank you, Bradley. Thank you. I needed someone to help me out. So, guys, here's what we're going to do. We're going to take any word, and we're going to add O or A behind it, and that's going to sound somewhat flavorful.
Where did we lose you, Bradley?
Just the rhyme of it. Like, you were already pushing it with the Primo.
But what we need
pushing it with the Primo and then the Primo Vino.
It's the Primo Vino.
And it's the glare in his eyes, too. He got so excited. He was like, the sparkle.
Oh, I can't wait to share this with Olive Garden. With Primo Vino, their monthly wine subscription, you get a monthly wine selection. So each month, members receive 1 or 2 bottles of wine selected by Olive Garden sommeliers. And this could include. I know that's a little bit topical.
If you are Somalia Olive Garden, you're not a good Somalia. No disrespect to any of these people. They're wonderful people, I'm sure, but no, you've gone somewhere wrong.
Yeah, if you look at their wine selection, it's typically like lower end wines. So there's some comedy in that. But it can include new offerings, seasonal selections, wines that pair well with their foods. There'll be wine tasting events, discounted wine purchases, with food suggestions, of course, priority access. So I then had ChatGPT write me a commercial.
Okay. Let's hear it.
You ready for it?
Do you want like a in a world? No.
Yeah. Imagine a life filled with unlimited soup, salad, breadsticks, and so much more. The Olive Garden you already love is here to make things even better.
Ugh.
Introducing Olive Garden Family, our free loyalty program. Earn points on every dollar spent. Get unlimited breadsticks on your first round of super salad on us. Celebrate your special day with free desserts. Get early access to new menu items and score bonus points with every carryout order. But wait, have you got an insatiable appetite for more? Then Olive Garden Primo, our new premium membership, has your name on it. Imagine having priority seating, unlimited soup, salad, breadsticks for dine-in, exclusive events, free delivery, special monthly dishes, and a standing discount.
Monthly dishes.
So why are we cooking up this tasty revolution? We know how much you love Olive Garden, and you should know how much we love you. Plus, this makes every Olive Garden visit even more rewarding. Remember, a family that eats together stays together, and we're eager to have you in our new Olive Garden family.
That's pretty good. Also, great voice.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, 100%.
So we're going to start running an ad on
that's not in the budget.
Facebook for that.
That's not in the
and
budget.
see how many people will get to sign up for this fake loyalty program we just created.
And that's Fire
But
Festival.
wait, there's more. Olive Garden Primo Vino.
Yeah,
You
I was
love
waiting
that,
for
right?
I was waiting for the Primo Vino.
That's a separate
Yeah.
ad, Brado.
It
Yeah,
is
that's a
that's
whole,
a retargeting.
You need a
ad.
whole nother ad.
Primo
Yeah.
Vino. This is why
Don't
I was in the mindset. This is why I turned Italian at the end of your introduction.
You were so excited.
I was.
But I'm still wondering, like, I see Olive Garden. This is no disrespect because I've been once and I was okay with it. Like, I see Olive Garden like I see Arby's, right? Like, what's the future for the franchise exactly? Like, how many
Olive Garden-
people go in there? Like,
It's the OG, baby. What do you mean? They're packed. The place is packed. I haven't been in a while, but it
you
used to be
literally just said, yeah. You can say I don't go.
Oh man,
That's
listen.
odd. So I love this,
Okay.
and I think this concept can be applied to pretty much virtually every restaurant ever. Like, I mean, you literally just change a couple things.
This
You
is
don't
only
say
for
the
Olive
Italian
Garden.
rhyme. But there is an interest here in like a lot of restaurants already have loyalty programs, right? I think I was just on Applebee's website to check if they had anything, and they have like the Club Applebee's,
Yeah.
which is like you receive a discount.
Olive Garden's so far behind. Darden Restaurants needs to call us.
But is to think, okay, for those of you who have a loyalty program, how do you escalate to that membership model, and how do you like actually see profits from it in addition to like
yeah.
data from
And that's more my point is you start with a
Yes.
loyalty program and then you layer in like
Yes.
the paid membership on top of that and you can give more. But the value they're getting out of that is obviously the engagement with their consumers and like I love some of the things that it suggests
Yes.
is like priority seating and all that kind of stuff. If you go to Olive Garden frequently, if you're a fan of the brand, you would love and appreciate this. Bradley, how much would you pay for the Olive Garden Primo membership? How much would you pay for it?
Or do
monthly?
you like Olive Garden?
It's unlimited soups and salads.
And you get to skip
Really?
the line.
Why are you
the
trying to sell
problem,
them on this?
yeah, but this is what Louis is bringing up. How much do I go there?
Yeah,
Okay, let's say you went there once a month.
that's a
If
fair.
I went
that's a
there once
fair
a month,
amount.
then I would have to cancel out what an actual meal there would be.
Okay. Oh, Bradley's not
Yeah.
a
So
customer.
how much?
So-
no, but that's so. So if
So-
you, yeah, how much?
It's like your jam.
What would
I don't-
that be?
So wait, did you get any
$10?
data, Alex?
$10, 5, 10 would be too much in my opinion. I wouldn't pay
If
10.
I mean, would you pay a $5 membership? That's an interesting $4.99 membership.
I would
So
do that.
maybe
I would
this
do that.
is maybe this is something that's baked into the wine
Yeah.
subscription. Maybe it's not like a standalone, and you get bottles of wine. And I think they could elevate like I legit looked at their wine selection as I was kind of thinking about this, and I was like, oh, it's like Sutter Home, and not that they're bad wines, they're just not high end wines.
Which matches like kind of like what
Yeah.
they expect, right?
Yeah, I think that matches like their average check
Yes.
there and things like that. And so, maybe there's something in there, maybe there's not. But I had
There
fun.
definitely is.
Look at this helped me get it off my brain. Like these ideas live rent free in my brain until I'm able to talk about them. So thank you.
That's
for
a good segment.
saving me.
Living
I think
rent-free.
it's great. I
Yeah.
think it's great. I'm just trying to figure out how much I'd how much I'd actually pay for that. It has
I
to be
don't
the
know. We already
consistency,
did
but that's
so much
the point,
work on
right?
this.
Because
They can do
right.
that part.
Yeah, right.
It's already all ironed out.
Yeah.
You're good.
Yeah,
No,
look at-
no, it's great.
You figure out the
we
price.
just
Olive Garden.
we gotta knock on their door. We're gonna knock on their door and show them the podcast video, and then we'll be done. And then they'll have it just like the Lego subscription, which hasn't happened yet. We're gonna make that happen too.
I know we should. Let's go make our pitch to the man.
We'll
to
take
the
a
managed
camera.
guard.
We'll take a camera.
We're gonna go down the Olive Garden down the road and pitch this, and she's gonna be like, he or she will be like, can you leave, please? Can you get out of here?
It will be no, not until you
No.
instate this.
We
need
want
you
to
to call
speak to your
corporate right now.
supervisor.
Yeah. We need you to call corporate.
Or you know, that supervisor just shows up to SubSummit, just
Yeah.
putting it out there.
So I think Olive Garden's still owned by Darden, which is Darden also owns Yard House and Seasons 52, which is walking distance. So let's just go talk to those managers.
I love that you give
Putting that out
context to
there.
our viewers who have no idea what those names are.
All right, so we've used up a lot of time here. We need to get through our game. Are you ready for this, Louis?
I don't know. I'm going to be very honest with you. I have like limited faith in my ability.
It's time for Name That Subscription.
Oh.
All right, here we go. Louis, you're going to be playing today for points. Again, these points are going to be for Chris George, not for yourself.
Selfless.
And he is working towards 100 points to get his prize. Currently,
How many points does he have?
he has 20 points today. Oh, somebody wrote a 1 on here. I bet Chris George. Because he was originally 5 points. He only has 10 points so far. He's
Inflated the
only
point system.
10% to his prize. If you guess it in round 1, you get 20 points. If you guess it in round 2, you get 10 points. Round 3, you're down to 5 points. And if we have to get to the obvious, 1 point. So here we go. This is super important.
Hang on. I just got it.
For those of you that haven't been part of this before, this is our third time playing this, where I list off a bunch of clues that all lead you to guessing what subscription, membership, or recurring revenue business this is. And so
I can't see. I can't hear right now. I'm in my zone.
it should be good.
I'm good.
Okay, so here we go. Round 1.
Okay.
This brand launched in 2005.
Okay. Doesn't help.
And well, it does help. 2005 is
That's fair.
like
That's fair. That's
2
a good one.
decades
That's
ago.
actually helpful.
So
Oh
it's
my
been around for a
gosh.
while.
We're old.
According to a reputable source, their top line revenue is 114 million. No slouch. No slouch. A little bit of a hiccup in 2017 as a class action lawsuit was filed against them. 2017. But they're out there fighting the good fight against some of the world's biggest brands. They're fighting that good fight. They've raised a total, I've got 2 sources on this, somewhere between 51.5 and 67.5 million.
Oh, that's actually pretty good.
They started with venture debt. They're all the way through a Series D. Their last Series D round was 25.5 million. And the global market for this product is expected to surpass $76 billion by 2026. So they're commanding a small portion of it right
And
now.
you're not going to tell me the vertical, right?
Not yet.
Class action lawsuit. That's the biggest
You're
thing.
getting hung up on that. That's
But
caught
yeah,
your
because I
attention.
can think of a couple. Like I think of a couple of things. There was this company named Noom, and I can't remember. I can place the date on it, but they're in the like fitness slash like diet industry, which I feel like would fare closer to the $100 billion range. Another class action lawsuit. There was another one that just happened, but that's not 2017. 2005. So I feel like it's got to be somewhat of a more digital approach.
That's interesting.
I don't think it's very physical because 2005 I feel like was very much like let's advance the technology around it.
You felt like a lot of like digital type of stuff started in 2005. That's a weird assessment.
Honestly, I was 10 years old, so I don't remember that time. I'm very real with you. I have no recollection.
all
But
right.
it just feels right to say it. I could be
Yeah.
very wrong, though. I'm just trying at this point.
Okay.
I'm trying to read your facial expressions every time I say
Okay.
something.
Yeah, I'm not going to give you any
It's not
facial
helping.
expressions.
It's not helping. So I'm gonna need. Do I take a guess every round? I'm sorry.
Well, you can guess anytime. I mean, if you get it, I mean, tell me what you're thinking though.
It's pretty much where I'm at this
Okay.
point. Like the not knowing the vertical helps. The raising.
You don't lose points by guessing, so like guess away.
I appreciate that. Well, let's go with Noom as the first
Okay,
one.
I would have told you. You already said Noom. I would have told you if that's correct. So
Okay. Well,
No,
maybe you
not-
were a really good poker face.
not Noom, but I like the interesting approach on the lawsuit there, and thinking about
I'm
them.
trying to think another lawsuit in 2017. I I did not even know subscriptions were a thing in
And
2017.
I'm just fascinated that you're racking your brain on lawsuits that were filed in 2017.
I
He's like
I work
a
with it
legal
that way.
encyclopedia. Okay, so I'm thinking back to
Was that
case
wrong?
law,
Yeah.
and the Supreme Court did this that year.
in the encyclopedia I read in 2006 when I was 11. I'm gonna need another hint. I
So
don't think I'm ready for-
so I mean, so just something to think about, like raising that amount of money.
yeah,
That's a big chunk of change.
it is. I just
It's got to go to something, and you got to keep raising because they're in a competitive space.
there's everything is a competitive space though. That's not helping.
Yeah, something
Like how many industries are worth $76 billion right now?
There's something to lean into. So give me 3 industries you think are going to be worth $76 billion by 2025.
By 2025,
2026, sorry.
2026. Well, vehicle is way above that. 21 billion by 2028. Never mind. But you said 700. Well, vehicle could be that. Shoot.
Okay.
Fitness is definitely up there.
Okay.
It's got to be.
Okay.
That's a big industry.
Fitness is a good space. Good, always people always want to be fit in that space.
That's just terrible.
Oof.
Are you hinting towards something?
Oh my gosh, my wife.
If it's a fire round,
The one text I say, don't call me for the next hour because she's the only one that breaks through. All right.
The third one, I think streaming was worth more this year alone.
Okay.
So I might say maybe something along the lines of media. And I think public. Oh, okay, publication. Publication it is.
Let me try to read the clues. Okay, so you're ready to move on and sacrifice 10 points into the next round, eh?
It's not my points. So I'm okay.
Yeah. No. It's very selfish, but understand. All right, so round 2 here. The founder and CEO was a previous speaker at one of our events.
Oh my gosh.
They have 200 plus employees. In 2017, the same year they got that lawsuit fired against
Famous
them,
lawsuit.
they had a brief foray into a related but totally different market. Related, connected, but different. In 2018, they launched a new product that was targeted at kids. And they sell on Amazon as well as direct to consumer.
Oh my God. Never mind. This is definitely not a digital
Last
product.
one in this round, they had a huge boom during the pandemic.
All right. So that's like every subscription ever. So that's good.
Yeah. I don't want to I could have like started listing things off, and I didn't want to like.
Yeah, don't make it too easy.
This and this. Yeah.
A speaker. Can I ask if I was there when he spoke?
That's.
Can that be an added layer?
Because it kind of splits it up. I can tell you no.
I was not there.
You haven't been present for this one.
That's a bummer. I was really hoping it was.
No, it makes it harder.
Okay,
But
so
prior to you coming on to our organization here, you did watch every previous speaker piece of content, right?
Yeah, totally. That was part of the training video that I was told to do. For sure. Well,
I did it. I know this one. Easy.
Yeah, easy.
This is a layup.
Do you actually know this one?
Absolutely not.
If you have guesses, you should slack them to Alex so we can check the timestamps and see how
right.
close you are.
Okay.
So slack your guesses to Alex.
So you said 2017 they ventured into another industry, right? And then 2018 they launched something for kids.
Yeah, by the way, the one that they launched in 2017 no longer exists.
Okay.
They a related but totally different market.
200.
But 18, the targeted product at kids is still around. So tell me what segments you're feeling right now.
I have a strong feeling towards subscription box right now.
Oh, okay.
It just feels like that's the easiest one to like, hey, let's target kids for it. I
There's
don't know
a lot
why.
of boxes on Amazon,
I feel like there's definitely an Amazon subscription box marketplace.
and they had a huge boom during the pandemic.
That's subscription box was arguably the biggest boom.
Okay.
So that's not it though. Maybe I was onto something with my digital.
I mean, I
product.
might be misleading you with this line
Gosh,
of questioning.
dude, that was not part of the criteria. So, speaker at SubSummit also would help favor boxes there if it was
Okay.
before me. Okay, it's not Battle Box. They did have a kids thing.
You have
That's what I'm
to put
thinking
in a
about it.
guess in every round. That's my new rule. My new Calvin Ball
Okay,
rule.
that's fair.
So we're gonna give you 10 more seconds in this round.
Oh my gosh, no.
You're now down to 8 seconds.
All right, cool. That's fine.
No pressure.
Something
Just
about
throw something
guests.
I think the mic's shorting out. Sounds like the mic is shorting out.
I'm there. I don't have it right now. I don't have any guests. No.
Nothing? Okay, here we
Too
go.
many are coming.
Down to
If
round
I don't
3.
get it, I'm gonna be so pissed.
Worth 5 points. This is leading to the obvious. You've seen me use this product before. And they are in over 30,000 retail stores.
Is it a hint?
The founder of this company has inspired my daughters through her book, and she is now the former CEO.
Yeah.
They lead with subscribe and save in their cart. Do you need a bigger hint?
I'd stop paying attention because I thought I
It's
had.
Hint Water. You did get
okay,
it.
Yeah.
Yes, that is the winner right there. It's Hint Water. Now you gotta do the air horn.
Oh yeah, I can do that one too.
I don't think I deserve it for like round. By the way, I would have not guessed any of the other clues you told me, except for like you've seen me use their product before.
Oh,
That's
that was
the
a
only
good one.
product.
I took a drink of the water in each round to try and help.
I
you.
wanted to say, I was like, what class action lawsuit? This class action lawsuit.
There's a class action lawsuit against them as well as a couple of other companies that they were misleading about the flavoring of their water. And that it was actually, I don't know what it was, some sort of chemical and not the flavoring that's in
You
there.
threw me off with the kids thing. What
So they
kids
launched
thing did
the
do?
kids juice boxes in 2018. Now in 2017 they launched their sunscreen, which Charlie Wahlberg, who's been on the podcast here before, loves their sunscreen and hoards it because it was really good and he loved it so much. And you cannot get it anymore, except for like $1 million on eBay.
Sunscreen. Wait, are you telling me a sunscreen is worth $1 million?
No, it's not that much. But like people hoard it, and it's hard to find nowadays.
newsworthy storyline.
So taking on some of the world's biggest brands, they're going against Coca-Cola and Pepsi, like all these companies out there. The CPG space on beverages is super tough, and that's why they had to raise so much money. I was trying to walk you down, like, why do you have to raise so much money to compete in that space? But it's tough. The global market is expanded to be $76 billion for beverages by 2026.
That's
So
also a tricky one.
here's one thing that I said this specifically this way, and you
Did not
made
pick up on it because I'm an
SubSummit.
idiot.
Founder CEO is a previous speaker at one of our events. Kara Golden spoke at Recur,
Yeah, I would have never.
which is
guessed
our
that.
conference that wasn't focused back when we were doing SubSummit with subscription box, and Recur was all subscription. Now SubSummit for our audience is all subscription, membership, recurring revenue. Yeah, so those were all the big things. I think. Look, this is a tough game, but I think you did a great job.
I disagree. I think you had too much faith in me, and
Let's do here.
I will never forgive
Round
myself.
3. I actually think Chris George would have got 1 point on this. I think the fact that he's not observant of me drinking that hint water, so he got 5 points for that. I'm scratching
Pure
off
observation.
the 1 here. So total now 15 points for Chris George on his path to 100 and his prize.
So he's gonna come back thinking he had 20. Now he's gonna.
I'm gonna let you go out there and tell him how that went.
I mean, it's okay. We'll play it.
We tell him next time, he's gonna say, "Oh, I would have got that for sure." Are you kidding me? That's a layup. Yeah,
You know what we
he
should
would've said
do?
that.
We should play this back for him and see if he can get it before Louis does. The fact that you got it on 5
feels like
points,
a
it's really tough. I don't know how anybody
Like
plays this game.
That feels like a morale downer for me if I watch the tape.
Anyway, it's been a great episode, Louis. Thanks so much for sitting in on this. It's been a lot of fun.
Merci beaucoup.
Good banter. Thank you for interviewing me at one point in there. If this is your first time listening and tuning in, really appreciate you doing so. We love having fun with this every 2 weeks and try and keep it always consistent. If you liked it, leave a comment, shoot us an email, tell us what you thought. Travis Chappell, thanks so much for your feedback last episode. Tried to bring the energy even more so this time.
Energy.
I was working hard at it. And we love any and all feedback in there. If you have suggestions for Name That Subscription, drop those to us. You can find me on X at Paul Chambers or Chris George on Instagram at Chris G Certified.
And you can find me in the office if you ever show up.
Working back in the storage room, working hard to keep SubSummit going.
That French internship is going to pay for itself.
Or on LinkedIn, different places. And the best thing you can do, the most appreciative thing you can do is share us with a friend.
Yes.
I really love that and appreciate that, working hard to grow the knowledge and the I don't know, the relationships in this space. So
And Olive Garden's business model.
and Olive Garden's business model. Thanks so much for tuning in, which, by the way, next episode is episode number 20. And you gave me some interesting stats at the beginning of the podcast.
I got to pull them up again. But really quickly, this is allegedly because I don't have it right in front of me.
No pressure, by the way, right now.
It looks like it looks like 90% of podcasts don't make it past episode 3.
Okay, so we have successfully accomplished that.
And out of
We're
that,
at 10%.
10% left. 90% don't make it past episode 20. So next episode is a pretty big deal.
No. Well, so next episode we'll be at
following
it,
episode.
Following episode.
You started with welcome to episode 20. I'm still hung up.
I know, me too. Yeah. Okay. No pressure. 2 more episodes. We'll be in whatever, I think it's like 1% or less than 1%. But
No
we're
big
gonna
deal. Really no big deal.
We're fighting the good fight for the subscription community out here. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you in the next 2 episodes, everybody.